Hello everyone and welcome to our dev stream from Skullbot Games covering on Viral. And as you know, we've been working hard, making our little game, doing its thing. What we're going to cover today is a few things. I'll do a little bit of a let's play, because that's how we like to start. And we'll go over a lot of what we've been working on in the last week. Show off some cool new stuff, show off some neat mutations, a couple of rooms that we've made, and really dig in a little bit into a topic that is near and dear to our hearts, which is synergies. This is because we're going to do a dev blog, post on it tomorrow, and we're going to talk a lot about what makes combinatorial gameplay to be very fun in general, and then what we're doing differently about that in Gone Viral. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it as always, and let's get started. Go show off some stuff. So what we've been working on, I've done a number of new mutations. Whenever we do a mutation, we try to worry not just about what does it do in its own right, but how well does it work with all the other stuff that's in the game. For instance, I worked on a number of things to take our dash mechanic and then kind of double down on it to really be able to show off a whole bunch of new stuff with it, new gameplay with it. So let's do a little run through here the first level. Hopefully we'll be lucky enough to bounce in and see some of that stuff just through natural gameplay. But it being that whole RNG thing, I think that if not, we will. I'll dev cheat a little bit and we'll force some of that stuff in to go check it out. Now, I like doing this here, which is that we have this nice little rock filled with coins. We have a nice little barrel. And so that combination, I don't mind starting off with 4 free gold pieces in the first room. That kind of works for me. Which way we feel like going today? Let's go up here and see what we got. Yeah, good. Take that. Bomb spiders. Die. So that was nice. That was sort of like free carnage just for dodging that guy, which is all sorts of cool. What do we have going on here? That's pretty good for our first room. 10 new viewers, which is lovely. I can't get my coin here. I was thinking about bopping one of those bomb spiders over here, but one of the things we have that's good sometimes and it's a pain in your butt sometimes is the concept of destructible terrain. And by that I mean these little nukes here, they are strong enough that they don't just destroy the rocks. They'll destroy the entire floor. However, they blew the coin over here. Life is good. I already have 5 coins. No key though, so I can't get to my shop. But that's alright. So here's an enemy we haven't seen a ton of, and you're not going to see a lot of them now, and that is the Stompers. They tend to... Oh, here, get over there. New kills give a whole bunch of extra carnage, so I like them. Die. Get in the pit. Using the room is kind of the best way to really double down on carnage. What's carnage get you? First of all, get you new viewers. As in the real world, the more exciting stuff you show and the more exciting stuff you do, the more you get viewers pouring in. And so in this case, we have these NPC viewers racking up over here. And once we get to certain levels of those, they're going to grant us new mutations, new weapons, new armor. They're going to make viewer challenges and change up some of these rooms for us. Die. Ooh, man, see, I'm so busy whacking, I don't even notice that. Let's kill you with your buddy. Nope, I won't. Kill you with your buddy. Yeah, that was good. Audience loves nice carnage like that. And double kill. Yeah, okay. 2 melee kills and a pinball, we'll take it. And collected, what that little collection bonus is, this is something we put in to kind of insane you to move around, have one extra thing to think about while you're in combat. And that is making sure that you actually, the more the carnage you can sort of wade through, you wade through the blood of your enemies, you get extra bonuses. You get some bonus viewers for doing that. And, ooh, look for a key. Do I want to hit a shop? Only 5 coins? We'll hold off. So this is an enemy I don't know we've really seen before. This is a psychic. They won't attack, but they shield their buddies. You'll note these guys are not taking damage from the other stuff in the room here. And that's because their psychic friend is shielding them. However, if we kill him, let's go stick him on spikes. That should do some damage to us. You go join your little friend over there. And you died over there. That sort of combo there, they're a buffing mob more than anything else. They can be really annoying in a big group. We're in level 1 of the dungeon, so this is like the easy, let's show you how a psychic works kind of room. Not too challenging, but as you go down, they grow to be true pains in the buttocks because If they're in a room full of tough enemies, they are just going to mess with your life. No bombs, so I can't get my other coin here. So I was talking about the stuff I added this week. I added a lot of stuff to dash, and so you'll note, this is our standard dash. You're invisible. You have iframes going on here while your character sort of gets translucent. And normally it's kind of useful for moving stuff around. You saw I kind of nudge that barrel before. Well, let's take a let me make a little robot here. If I dash into him, you'll see it does like kind of a mini wallop. Even a few weeks ago it did more than that, but now we let you just do some gentle positioning without damage with that, because it's still kind of fun. Like, boink, even if you have no melee weapon, and so you can't do wallops in your own right, well, you can still get kind of mini wallops out of things like that. And I added a new thing here, which is cash dash. This will let you, when you dash an enemy, the first time you hit it, there's a chance that you'll knock a coin out of his pocket. And so and it's only once per enemy. It doesn't work on like trivial guys, minions and stuff, because we worked in MMOs. We kind of know what abusive stuff wrecking economy can do, which is amusing, man. You're in a single player game. Some runs really ought to have a wrecked economy. It's part of our design. But in general, we try to watch for those edge cases and keep it from getting too crazy too quick. So you can't like farm a boss for like coin after coin after coin. You can't let them spawn minions and bash coins out of them, but it's a nice extra source of cash as you go along. It's fine. This little trap here, that'll do for a little bit of free carnage. Yep, nice trap kill. We'll always take those. Speaking of that kind of balance, we also try to make it so one of the things I'll be adding in, I'm going to guess a week or two. Yeah, you get over there. He's in a pit. But the audience has seen fit to donate to me. Mind over bullets. How much mind over bullets do? Yeah, that's a good question. That'll lead nicely into synergies. Normally, I can't hit laser bolts out of the air, but with mind over bullets, not only do I get to hit him, I can knock him right back into the guy who sent him or other mobs. So if I can kill a guy with his friend's bullets, I get an extra deflection kill. If I can kill a guy with his own bullet, they'll give me a deflection kill or a karma kill. I'm a little surprised that wasn't a karma kill. Which means, hey, not only did you kill a guy with a deflected bullet, you killed him with his own bullet. Like, what is ruder than that? I have a bomb, but I don't think it's worth just 1 penny over there. So so as I've been adding more stuff to dash, I added a firewalker buff where now as you dash, it leaves a trail of fire behind you. What we do is we take each basic mechanic of the game and then we overload more stuff onto it. Normally my wallop knocks enemies around. Now, because we have mind over bullets, we can actually knock their bullets in a very similar fashion. If we have neat stuff that happens with our bullets, that neat stuff happens when you deflect a bullet as well. And so our goal there is really to try to make it so that by the end of your run, crazy, crazy stuff is going on. Even if you stick with the same weapon, even if you have this electric sword, the electric sword here it'll fire little harpoons. And it will knock enemies around in a sort of basic way. This is the default weapon. Even if you have that, even if you haven't changed how your weapon works, you're going to end up with a ton of stuff based off your passive, your mutations, the other things that have changed by your character. Deflection. Yeah. These guys are nice to deflect here because they have so many bullets with them. Get in there. I'll take some extra health. Never hurts. You little sticky spiders. And what we'd like, hey, now that we've learned how to fight one psychic, worse than that, we now have two, and these guys are now dripping acid. Another thing I did this week is I hooked up a whole bunch of new effects and stuff, so you'll note, if you saw acid last week, it was all ugly and just basic. Now we see little bubbles. I'm going to kill you with your own bullets. I'll kill your friends with their bullets. You get over there. We have a better decal, we have just a little sexier art going in. Chris, who's our art director, has been working with some of his friends to get in as much new art as possible because, when you're in game development, you think you're immune to, hey, how does stuff look? Shouldn't really matter, Like if you're in a gray boxed world, but the gameplay's all polished and cool, your game ought to be fun. But it really matters once you're done prototyping. The better you can get good assets in there, the better off you are. Just the game, for whatever reason, you just end up feeling better, even if you think, I've seen a million games in development, I'm too smart for that. Retribution armor. I now have 3 armor instead of my standard 1 for my crappy little starting flak jacket. And also, this will deal some damage when things hit me. Now, I wouldn't consider that too great, because my goal in life is not to be hit by my enemies, but instead to hit them. And so I'm not really, I don't value that power very highly, not as a developer, but rather as a player. I don't value that very highly. It can certainly help, every now and again it might save your butts, but you're not really going to be, basing a whole run around it. Hey, blades. Everybody here now has a spinning blade attached to their waist, and over there. So these little bomb spiders now will do damage if I bump into them, and I will do damage to things into which I bump. That's an example of a viewer event. Basically, oh look, I can get a free bomb here. The viewers is when you hit certain milestones with them. Yeah, all sorts of cool stuff. I'll totally take that. I don't have a key, but why not open up the path for later? The viewers, as they hit certain tiers, as you get certain amounts of viewers, start sending you cool gifts. Sometimes, though, they don't decide to send you a gift. They decide to send you some pain instead of loving. In this particular case, when they did... Oh, hover! I just added this. I am flying. Whee! This is cute. Now I can ignore pits, which is always good. I move slower, but I dash faster. I also have a lot more momentum. Like, it's a little trickier to slow down. If my natural tendency now is to drift unless I direct myself, and so it's a little tricksy to do that. I can also fly over rocks, which I don't think looks the best right now because, we're kind of clipping with it. I'll probably adjust the height of the sky up a little bit just to make that a little more clear what's going on. I would prefer not to be confusing if at all possible. But this is a brand new power, just added it, and see, it does not work so well, man. We just pop in and RNG. RNG just gives us what we want. Here's another thing, which sadly I can't really interact with. Spinning room of death. You'll notice we have these little spinning wheels here. They'll move me, but I'm flying, so they won't actually move me unless I manage to land on it, which I can't quite. Nope, I can't. This is quite tricky to jump across, and I don't care because I can fly. Life is good. Oh, let's get in there. This room, I happen to know there's some goodies there behind these traps. What I really want to, in these traps, you'll note, as they deal damage, they break. And so what I want to do is to make my life easier in the future. I'm going to try to break as many blades as I can by dealing with enemies. You know what? Here's things I don't even know. There's a chance this won't damage flying enemies. Nope, and that chance is non-existent. Go figure. And I don't have any keys, so even after taking that damage, it sucks to be me. Now, you might be like, hey, Gaffer, how come you don't know in your own game, is this trap going to deal flying damage or not? Well, hey, we want to make all that stuff clear over time, but when I add something like flight, it naturally combines with all the other elements in the game. We've been kind of cautious to code things in a way that is very freeform, that very much lets things naturally interact with each other. And by that I mean, if I, drop a physics object on the ground, by default, I can push into it. By default, I can hit it with my sword and knock it around. And then when we write the flying systems, we make them interact with these various other systems kind of automatically. When we've had flying enemies in the game, you see them, they drift over rocks and stuff like that. They drift over spikes and don't take damage. That's how I was like, is that fan blade, is it kind of like a spike on the floor, or is it smarter than that and it actually knows that it's up in the air? I don't know. I only added flying for the PC last week. I haven't had a chance to see. What's neat about the game, though, is that lends itself to a lot of emergent behavior. There's stuff in the game that, we coded it, but because it's interacting based on a set of rules, you don't really know always how those rules are going to work out in the longer haul for you. Get over there. Now this guy, as we happen to know, is vulnerable to explosives. So, the more I can hit him with barrels, the more I can hit him with his own bombs, better off we are. And I made this room now, before when you'd fight this guy, towards the end of the room, it started off with all these nice barrels and stuff in the room, but it would end up with the room being kind of empty. So you could still maybe kill him with his own bombs. But you'll notice now these barrels replenish. I made a container called Dropper. What's a container? You can place an item in the world, as a designer. I've shown some of this in the room editor, where I can say, look, there should be a coin over here, and sure enough, a coin will be there. I can place a pool of items. Hey, this should be most of the time consumable, but sometimes it's a cool item. Okay, and that's a pool that's called almost always consumable. When a boss dies, it drops a pool called Boss Death. Now, what the container is that's a way of how do you present that? Does it just spawn in the world? Well, no container. Does it drop from the heavens, like when the audience sends you a gift, Amazon crate spins down? I guess Amazon's not doing that yet, but they will. That's what caused the apocalypse, man. This bubble wand over here, it's on what's called a pod. That's like our standard way of presenting mutation, but really that's a kind of container. And so there's now a new container called a dropper, and that does is be like, okay, I'm going to drop, this, if this barrel over here is in a dropper, then the dropper tracks the thing that it dropped, and if the thing it drops blows up, it waits a little bit of time and drops another one down, so now we have these little droppers. That allows us to do stuff like have replenishing sources of barrels. Now, if we are bad designers, and we'll see, time will tell, that could do some bad stuff. If I put the wrong thing in a dropper, let's suppose I put a coin in there. Hey, infinite money. That sounds like it'd be cool, but in practice it would not be fun. And the rule of law is you got to make stuff fun. It's more important to make it fun than make it balanced even. Now the bubble wand, what's this puppy do? This allows me to, whereas my normal weapon is really good at melee, this weapon kind of sucks at melee. Barely does anything, just a little love tap. And we'll change these attack patterns over time. I wouldn't expect this to always be like this. This is an example of a weak melee weapon that could shoot a lot of kind of fairly weak projectiles. It doesn't do a ton of damage with every shot, but by God, there's something to be said for quantity having a quality all of its own, so it's pretty reasonable to do that. Oh, I discovered this earlier today, and I'm going to make a note to fix it. Now, I can't get on my elevator. Why? The elevator only lets walking characters on it, and I'm flying. Isn't that a bummer? Yeah, that's like a one-setting thing. Should I go just fix that now? Nah, I'll wait. Maybe I'll do it later in the show. But luckily, oh my God, I'll cheat. So, now we head down to the next level. You see our boss upcoming is Dr. Death. Dr. Death, it would be now useful to have my shock sword because he fires syringes. Syringes are physical objects. The physical objects can be walloped around. And so, if I had my strong walloping item, I would be able to knock those projectiles all the way around the room, which would be kind of cool. However, in this particular case, I have more limited options. That's not going to do it. Now, I mentioned that, physical things can be knocked around, so I can knock around these razor blades even. Here, take that. Oh. But my weapon's so weak, I can't really take advantage of this room like I could otherwise. That's pretty new, too, actually. I only ended that like a week or so ago. Oh, so let's go poke in the shop, because I do actually have a little bit of money. I will slowly drift my way over here. What do we got? This shop is selling gadgets. We have Iron Skin, which is invulnerability. Big Shot will make me larger, shoot bigger shots. Vortex gives me extra damage, so does Big Shot briefly. This little gadget here is a Turret Buddy. I think what we'll do is... let's go take Vortex. This is going to give me extra damage, but make everything spin around. I'm going to use this to go in here and use the extra stats it gives me to try to knock Dr. Death's shots back into him on the reg. Dr. Death. Because things move quickly enough. Oh man, I can't do squat. Here, do that, and that. Okay, so now I have the Vortex, so everything I hit is spinning, that's not much. Here, ooh, bang. There we go. Look at all that stuff. Now that actually did rather well. A couple of lucky bombs did that, and I knocked a whole suite of syringes back into him. But man, that was kind of nuts out there. So now I have yet another mutation, which is good. I've racked up bullet time. What's bullet time do? This is something now where when bullets get near me, they slow down. When they get away from me, they speed up. It's kind of cool because it's not a perfect defense, but man, it helps. And if I combine it with something like Mind Over Bullets, let's say, Mind Over Bullets will allow me to deflect not just physical projectiles, but like even laser bullets. Well, now things slow down when they get near me, and then I have the opportunity to, have a much better aim about what's going on. Let's go over here. We'll grab another gadget or two, and then I think it'll probably be time to just go. We're going to do a fairly short stream today. I'll go fix a bug or so, because why not? What do we want? Let us get Big Shot, and then let us get our little Turret Buddy. And we'll drift over here happily. It'll speed us up. Man! So why do I dash fast and walk slow? Well, there's a certain amount of air resistance to the world here. So I'm actually walking about my old walk speed was, but man, when I do my dash, normally that moves me a little bit away. Oh, this from again. Ha ha ha. I don't need to worry about any of you little guys because I am floating over all the nasty little traps. When I... Oh, Blades. Blades is coming. Now everyone has all this. There, you get over there. That doesn't help. Let's shoot the stream. See, I'm shooting pretty quick here. I must have something that's up in my fury rate because I'm able to dump these little bullets out. And on Machine Gun Sally here. Takes how many hits to kill him? Looks like 5. Only 6 hits to kill him each. So that ain't super. But the fact that I'm pumping out... Jeez, I don't know how much you figure that is. And these guys are blind, so he just walked straight into the trap on his own. I'm not sure if that should give... we might end up making that so that it doesn't give you as many carnage points for it, because you didn't have a ton to do with that. But what if someone really clever and did position an enemy in there? I feel like we got to reward that. So, I don't know. I'm a little torn about that. Anyway, I'll just go off on a few more parentheticals, because why not? And normally this is a great room to be smacking guys into that pit. However, I don't have that option. Oh, thank you, Bullet Time. That saved me. There. Luckily, though, I can kill these guys pretty easily. Can't harpoon them into the pit. That's always nice. Get a free trap kill out of it. Now, I can dash into stuff, but, like, again, I can't do very much with it because of this weapon. I like the fact this weapon changes your gameplay so much, but it's not like it doesn't have some drawbacks coming with it as well. Okay, let's re-armor. I'm starting to feel the pressure here a little bit. Haha, you guys can't get to me. You fell in the pit. See, that's a trap kill that I feel is warranted. He saw me, he charged at me, he fell in the pit. Awesome. But if he's just blind and falls in the pit, should we really give you extra skill points for it? You know, that's called stylish moves, actually. Should we really give you extra carnage for it? I'm not so sure about that. No key. I get to drift around and snag a key. Life is good. Dash crash. Now, I mentioned I've been adding more and more stuff into dash. Before, when I was going to dash into a guy, he wouldn't take any damage. Now you can see I smack into him. I've been forgetting to dash crash to get the extra loot, man. It's a little tougher to dash, actually, with my little hovering action going on. So now I have cash dash and dash crash because I like making sure that people have a hard time pronouncing or remembering any of the mutations in the game. One or both of those might shift over time. What this means is I can get extra coinage by smashing into people, and now I actually do a full-on wallop when I crash into people. This is cool because if I have any wallop effects, like I can't really wallop much right now, but if I had neat walloping effects, I'd still be able to apply them after I've gotten dash crash by just smacking into them. It's not going to help me too much because this weapon really kind of overall lowers the amount of walloping I can do. But it's a nice option that might pay off well in the future. Let's crash into some of these guys to the best of my limited driving skills. And just see if we can rack up some... Hey, there's a free coin. You? Free coin? Free coin? Free coin? I think I've hit you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a minor bug. Maybe something else we can fix with this. When they slam down, at the moment, they're immune. Other creatures can go through them. Why? Well, in Unreal Physics, there's a little bit of a trickiness where die. There's a little bit of trickiness in Unreal Physics where it freaking hates, the default physics system hates it when creatures, this is going to sound kinky, like don't demonetize me, when creatures interpenetrate. What that means is that I'm represented in the world by this little, it's called a sill sphere or a capsule, that represents my character. We don't collide every polygon, my character with every polygon in the environment. We represent them by a little cylinder. It's cheaper to do that for mathematical reasons and stuff. I can't even leap in the pit to get my coins because I'm flying. And so that's cool and all. Well, you know what? I'd rather have scout armor because I move a little bit faster. It doesn't help me as much as I'm flying, but now my flying is really going to shoot me along when I dash. Physics in the real world, you don't get things interpenetrating, or if you do, it would be an explosive reaction, and almost like atomic reaction. And so is the same in game physics. If you end up with a creature that is inside another creature, the physics like, that can't physically happen, do something, because you can imagine they might be stuck together forever, they can't depenetrate. Well, that would suck, that would break gameplay in a lot of way. Or you can force them out from each other, but picture the cascade, if I had a little dude in the corner here and he gets out of me, here I am depenetrating with a guy in the corner. Man, man, this is just the world's kinkiest of dev streams today. The picture if he's trying to, the minion spawns on top of me, and we got to fight to figure out which one of us is where. Well, you can imagine if that minion was in the corner, he might get forced all the way through the wall and like out into the world because he's got to solve that penetration, that interpenetration issue. So the net of that is often physics engines as a whole, and Unreal does this too, they often struggle with creatures stuck inside of other creatures or objects stuck inside of other objects. They solve it either by shifting stuff around with occasional bad side effects. You fall through the floor or you fall through a wall. They solve it by flinging objects apart at great speed, which looks silly and causes trouble. Or they solve it by getting stuck together. None of those are good. And so to solve that, you have the Stomper, which doesn't walk like a normal, being. Normal beings know to never get, all the way inside something. The Stomper leaps up in the air and then slams himself down. And so because of that, two things might happen. A, he might slam himself down with such force that he flings you away at great speed. That sounds like a good result, but when a physics engine says great speed, they mean go at warp factor 90, fly through walls, horrible things happen. It ain't good. It's too fast. And I can tweak that over time, and I will, but man, those physics, it's very tough to get that behaving well. So it's kind of like a little hackorama in the interim. I make them briefly when they stomp, not collide with other creatures. The only negative effect of this is that you can't dash through them, because that dashing is using that same kind of physics to be like, hey, I bumped into you, and it's like, no, you didn't bump, you just went right through them. There's some fixes for that, but it's kind of a minor polish tweak that I haven't quite gotten around to doing. Of which I'm sure there are many. Oh, bad. I want my wallet to work again. This room is not great for my current little build because these guys are pretty tough. It takes a fair amount of bullets to kill these guys. These dudes are called choppers. You'll note that they are, let's go zoom in and take a look at them if they don't put them, so that's a little mini spike spider. This guy, you'll note he has a little VR headset on, so he's blind, so he'll walk right into walls and instead of bounce off them. He won't turn to attack me at all. His attack and damage stuff, like, if he hits that barrel, here, let's go see if we can nudge that barrel over to him. Oh, here, let's, free coin. And I killed him because my dash does extra damage now. So those are very simple enemies. They're blind, and what they're really doing is they're what we call AoE denial. When those guys are all walking around, you can't freely move around them. They might not be, hunting and killing you, but they're letting the other enemies in the area have an opportunity to shoot you, sort of distracting you. So we tend to use them as rooms, not usually as a main enemy. Oh, that's a popper. They explode. If only I had some kind of a ranged weapon that would let me shoot them from afar. Oh, look, I do. What's the odds here? Let's shoot this guy from afar. Oh, that was much better than smashing with my face. Daphne, you were so smart. It's like you coded those dudes and then you forgot what they did. Yeah, well, I was surprised. Hey, my bombs are full. I don't really need bombs as much since I can fly. Hopefully I'll get like missiles or something like that so I can properly... Okay, time to zip around at major speed. I'll tune the speed a bit. This is a little faster. Even the scout armor, it's a little faster than I want to move with flight and dash combined. At this, at this stat level. Okay, so that was a lot of yapping. Let me show off some more stuff real quick. I'm going to spawn in just a bunch of random mutations. Hopefully we'll grab some of them that are new, which is good. Tips is like the most boring of all things. That's what we spawn if nothing else is left. It just gives you little consumables and stuff. Bounce is a lot of fun. Tracker shot's really fun to go on. Now, my projectiles will bounce, which is always good. Now, I have not seen this combo. Let's see what this is like. Firewalker. Now, when I dash, I will leave a trail of fire behind me. This is one of those things that I put in just this week to up the power of dash. But now I move really fast. That's a nice little synergy there. Now we get to go a long way. Woo, and leave a trail of fire behind us. Emperor's Boon is awesome because that just sort of ups all my stats, or most of them. So now I'm firing faster, I'm doing a little bit more damage, my shots are going further. You can see these things are lasting a pretty darn long way before they bounce off. That's all pretty awesome. Now, we could do something here. Raw power is nice, that just gives me more damage, period. You can't really tell, and I'm probably going to kill these guys in like a few shots now. Yeah, that's erased the power hit that I took from picking up this weapon to begin with. And now, bomb. Who wanted to go super crazy? What's going to happen with Bomber? Well, now, normally this thing shoots these little spitballs. You know, this is called the Bubble Wand. It'll probably change. It's a bit of a placeholder weapon. Now, instead of spitballs, this kind of things, I'm throwing bombs around everywhere. That's awesome. That's mass damage. I could probably take out a horde of dudes pretty quick. Well, jeez. Barely shoot them. Yeah, multi-kills. That doesn't suck. And they'll be pretty long. There's a bit of an issue. I have, those things that raised how far my shots went, and things like bounce. Well, now, these guys are taking a fairly long time to go up. I probably would have preferred them to be a little bit quicker. So now, there's more stat-up type stuff. Shrapnel proof explosions, which, given my current stuff, high impact. This will raise up my ability to wallop. So now, my wallops are actually, because I'm quite powerful from some of the stuff I picked up. And on top of that, my wallop's starting to climb back up there because I have high impact. Some of these things will stack naturally and some won't. If I take another high impact, I'll be able to shoot stuff even further. That's one of the ones, hey, now he's flying high. This lets me show off another aspect of Bomber. When I got Bomber, what we try to do is we make things affect, the two major attack types that you have. Well, there's even more than that. There's a couple of major attack types. But the ones you notice the most is wallop. Hit things. They fly across the room. Shoot. Projectiles. Fire a projectile. It goes across the room and blows stuff up. And the combination of these is sort of the fundamental. When you pick up a different weapon, it might have an emphasis. This one really sucks at melee, but has great projectiles. This one might have, no melee. Or, we have a lot of things that have very limited things. You also have your dashing, and dashing into enemies does serve a purpose. Like, if you had no damage, you could knock guys into pits and stuff. So that's kind of showing earlier. Whee! That's sort of fun. Whee! And with the right build, maybe you have a run where your basic attacks suck, but by God, you can just dash things to death. And in my case, get a little coinage out of them. Frenzy, now I can attack even faster. There's a ton of little bombs over there. Boom, 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 boom. The resilience is a little tougher. Giving a full heal. I'll take that. And that's a pretty good example, I think, of just the joy of a lot of this stuff that we put in this last week, and also, let's see if we got anything else neat here. Shock attack would kind of combine well with this. Circling death gives me another spinning blade around me that will just go and cut stuff up, so that won't suck either for various things. And of course, because I'm flying, I have all this cool stuff. So let me go fight one more room. I'm going to go down to the next level here real quick. Dr. Death's back again. My enemies now attack faster. Remember, as I upgrade myself, enemies also get upgraded. It is nasty. Attack faster can be really nasty. That's up in their fury, like how quickly they go bam, 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 and attack. They'll shoot coins fast. I'm shooting coins. They'll shoot projectiles faster at you. They swing their swords faster. I want to go see what we got. So I'm going to cheat our way in there. So I'm going to cheat cheaper. Razor Belly. Razor Belly looks a little silly with flight, I was noticing, so I'll grab this, but I'm not happy. The visual, it's a little too low, and you're supposed to go around your stomach. I think I'm going to swap it for another asset we have with cooler looking blades. Not cooler, but like, so you're seeing a bit more unique of an asset. Not the same thing that's currently circling around me. It didn't suck. I can just lay waste these rooms now. Let's check my stats. Look at all these mutations, because of course I'm cheating. This is my power. I'm halfway to max power. That's pretty darn good. My zip, how fast I move is really high. My fury, that's decent. My far, that's how long my shots will last, how long my wallops will take. High, my health, pretty darn good. And my it factor. It factor is kind of luck for us. It also affects a lot of things having to do with carnage. I have so many options now. I'd like to kill them. I'm also going to have about a billion nukes going off here. You get over there. Yes, I'm a little OP for like what am I on the third floor here. This build still might get wrecked by something at a lower floor. You get down to level 9 and the monsters have 9 stuff on them. We have tougher monsters down there as well. I would not be guaranteed to be alive there, but here at this level, if I die, it's going to be pretty sad. Oh, look at that, man. I get such a wallop off my thing. Even that's doing a ton of damage because my pow side, I can just grind guys down as well. Yeah, it's easy to be OP when you're the dev and you cheat your way to happy goodness over here. Okay, well, that's enough of that. I took my big shot, so I can shoot even farther, and I have bigger shots. I should have totally done this, nothing. I am now super mighty. Let's drop my turret buddy as well. He's not big, even though I'm big, which I think is okay. Boom, 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 boom. Sadly, this doesn't last forever. And I'm back to my normal size. Oh well. And turret will give you somebody to shoot here so you feel a little better. Anyway, that's probably enough for doing all this. We're just going to do a short little run today. Because we're working on a whole bunch of new stuff. We have a new dev blog going up tomorrow, which you should check out. We also have, here's a little trickiness about razor belly and all that. They like barrels, so your ability to knock barrels around gets very limited once you're doing that. In this case, because I'm flying, I can get away from it pretty easily, but still. So we have a dev blog coming out tomorrow. That's going to talk about a lot of synergies. We'll show even some little clips and things of stuff that even with these mighty dev streams you haven't necessarily seen before. We're going to be doing those weekly. We'll be doing our streams weekly as well because we enjoy it. It's fun showing off our stuff. It's nice always having a chance to, even though stuff's rough and in development, has placeholder assets, it's fun for us to be able to show that off. And, we've been working quietly on the game for about a year or so. We're just now entering the fun stage of production, which means we're dumping in tons of new content. So when we were working on basic engine stuff, it'd be like, let's show the cool thing we're doing. Look, in this one case, we now have this object interacts with this other object. Now that we're kind of pre-production complete, we can dump in new stuff pretty rapidly. Every week we've been adding, stuff like this. Oh my God, this one's totally destroyed me. Here, what's up? I had these spinning floors in the last week too. Forgive the fact that it's like a gray sort of placeholder texture on it. The goal here is this is going to mess with your life while you're trying to get to your other doors here. I'm flying, so this thing isn't dragging me along, but man, if I'm running on this thing, it is a pain to be able to get where you want to go. And a good pain one hopes, we always make it challenging. As well as, okay, one more monster. I totally suffer, man, from that. Of course, everybody, even this guy, I give him one bomb, he's probably going down here. Let's see. I don't know, but with my wallet now. Let's see, I'm taking like a quarter of his health every time. Here, eat a bunch of bombs. You knocked down one of my armor points, you jerk. I can even take these things out now with my razor blade. Blow up those things. These are nice, kind of like, little orbital style action. A little bit different, but, similar kind of thought. I am now mighty because I could kill my dash. My super fast dash because of my flight. I can kill them with my razor blades. I can kill them with my bombs. And I'm showing off like 14 assets that, aren't quite ready for the light of day. But one of the joys of seeing this in development is you'll see a lot of that stuff get fixed over time. I can super smash people. Here, take that. Take that. Take that. Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate it. That'll be the end of our dev stream for today. Do tune in next week and we'll show you a bunch of cool new stuff. Thank you very much. As you know, I am Gaffer, aka Jeremy Gaffney. I've been doing games for quite a while, but I have to say I'm having a lot of fun doing 3-person projects now instead of like 350-person projects like some of our last stuff. So, thank you very much, and I will see you next week.